Hey everybody, welcome back again. All right, thank you for joining me on this Sunday. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Just trying to give you guys some updated energies and let you guys know what's going on within this union, this twin flame energy, so I can dive into it for you guys so you can get some understanding and some more clarity. Okay, because you're not getting this from your divine masculine. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys, and I'm catching up on everything now. And like I said, all the orders and everything will be going out tomorrow. Okay, and I did get the email about the one person who I didn't respond to. I'll go through my emails and check that, and I will respond to you. Okay, the next energy the next energy I'll say is I don't like to call people out. Okay, but I have responded to you on several occasions or a couple occasions to try to see what I can do for you. But your concern to me is black magic and curses and spells and all this kind of energy. I don't work with any of that. I did let you know that. Okay, but at this point I don't feel like it's anything I can do for you. And your name is Miss Mary S. Okay, Mary S. And I'm calling you out because I have talked to you on several occasions and you constantly stalk my page. You constantly email me. You constantly stalk in the comments section. Okay? So when I wake up and I see 36 emails from you overnight, you're stalking me. You're making me feel uncomfortable. So I did have to block you. Okay? So please do not get in contact with me. Please leave me alone. Okay? I appreciate it. I cannot help you. Okay? Now, back to our regularly scheduled programs, and that's how you handle a trigger, okay? So, the energy that I want to talk about is the divine masculine's childhood. What are these childhood wounds that they have been dealing with, okay? And I am going to be doing this video for Divine Femme as well. Divine Femme. Yeah, Femme. Okay, as well. To find out what are the childhood wounds, what trigger these masculine energies to act this way. Okay, what happened in their childhood? This could be their upbringing, their parents, okay, their siblings, anything that happened within their childhood to make them act this way that has carried off into their adulthood. Okay, so I'm gonna use this deck right here. This is the Black American Oracle, and this is the Ugly Truth edition. Okay, this is the Ugly Truth, and I'm asking, what are some masculine energies, childhood wounds, Holy Spirit? What are the childhood wounds from the masculine and their upbringing? Okay, they struggled to find themselves. All right, they could have had a mom who struggled to find herself. All right, and maybe that's why they lost a little bit. They struggled to find their own individuality as a child. Okay, I have this energy here and this defiant energy. Just being hard-headed, not listening, being defiant, going against the family plans, the family rules, just not listening, and also it was too many children. They could have had a family, a large family. It could have been a lot of siblings, brothers and sisters, and maybe some of the children did not feel like they had their own individual selves, okay? And I feel like they did not get the attention that they needed. It could have been some large families here, okay? And they just did not get that attention, and it weakened them. Their mom could have had weakened them. This is a feminine energy that could have weakened them inside, as a child. It was too many kids. I don't feel like they got the attention that they were seeking. This is for some masculine energies. Only take what resonates if you know you're masculine. Okay? Please do not email me about that don't resonate. I'm wrong. This ain't that. If only it resonates with you. Don't try to make shit fit where it don't fit and then get pissed off with me. Okay? The next energy I got is devious. It was a lot of devious behavior going on in the childhood, in this family situation, in this family dynamic as a child with the divine masculine. Okay? Please tell us what else we need to know, Holy Spirit, about these dynamics, these childhood wounds of the divine masculine. All right? And it's like mint condition. So it's like, the parents and everybody expected them to be in mint condition, expected them to uphold rules, uphold values, and they was devious. So they went against, the rules and everything as a child. They were deviant. They had deviant behavior. They was very defiant, but they were expected to uphold a certain caliber within this family situation and dynamic. All right. There could have been gaudy parents. All right, they could have been over the top parents. It could have been a mom who was dressing pretty gaudy. So that could have brought some materialism to their life, some thoughts of materialism. Okay, some other childhood wounds is they was doing their best. They felt like they was doing their best. They could have had sibling rivalry, and maybe they was compared. Who's doing better. Somebody's doing better than the other, and maybe that was compared, and that kind of brought them down a little bit and made them weak, and they just wanted to be them. They just wanted to be known for them. A lot of these masculine energies wanted to be just themselves, but they were made and possibly taught to be someone else. All right? And they didn't like that, okay? And a lot of these masculines, they got their hand raised to them. They could have been in abusive situations. They could have got beatings, whippings, or whatever you want to call them, okay? They got their hand raised to them, okay? And this is poor. A lot of them was poor. They struggled. They didn't have much. They had a lack of any finances. A lot of them was raised with single moms. Only the feminine energy in their life. Okay? And the other energy is just chemicals. A lot of these masculine energies could have been with a mom who had an addiction, who had a drug addiction. All right? And this is the feminine energy had a leading role in their life. A feminine energy had a leading role in their decisions and their choices. This was a strong leading role. This also could have been like a narcissist type of mom here who was very aggressive. I feel like she had some issues with being a single mom, kind of struggling. That's why they had a lack in the life, in the home. Okay? And yes, and the mom was the boss of the kids. So she could have bossed the kids around. And this is even when they was small. This is how they was feeling. All right? That they was getting bossed around even as a small child. And they had a lot of insecurities. Their mom could have been insecure a lot and unsure about a lot of direction that was going on with them. A lot of choices and decisions that she had to make. She was unsure about a lot. Okay? She was at a crossroads. It's like this stuck at which way to go. Not sure. Had to make a lot of decisions, and maybe some of the decisions that she made, they wasn't the best decisions for these masculine energies, okay? Because a lot of decisions she made, she could have deserted these masculines. They could have felt abandoned. They could have been at daycare, grandma's house, auntie's house, uncle's house. They could have been dropped off a lot, and they felt kind of abandoned from their mom, in addition to having like a single parent type of energy. Maybe some dads was not around, but they feel abandoned by at least the one person they thought that they had, a connection with, which was their mom. Okay? Any other messages? Yes. All right. And this is longevity. They thought that, and some of these masculines thought their dad would be around forever. All right? Some of these fathers could have had passed when they was younger. And they thought that these dads would be around forever. And also maybe the dad didn't put longevity into these relationships, these marriages, and everything with their children. And it's fatherless. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Just not being there. Not having that father energy. They wasn't there for them. They grew up without a father. A lot of the moms had to do, their thing while the dads was, away from the home front. So this is things that kind of affected them as they was growing up here, and they felt isolated, and that's that abandonment, and they definitely felt isolated from a mom figure. So there's a mom figure that played a large role into some of these divine masculines' lives, and I see why, as I find these energies of why they feel the way they feel towards feminine energies. All right, they definitely have a fear of abandonment from a feminine energy. Okay, definitely a fear of that. All right, Holy Spirit, what else do I need to know here? All right, this card right here is hopeless. All right, and it's like sometimes the mom even could have felt hopeless in situations, unsure about situations, and she could have projected that off on her children. They could have been going from home to home. There could have been jobless situations, car problems, just a lack of finances to get things situated, to get structure in their lives. Okay? And the next energy is get over it. It's time for them to grow up and get over how they lived. It's time for them to wake up and try to heal from what happened as a child instead of still trying to live through that and live the life of that. All right? It's like it's projected onto them. It's like they got to keep the pattern going. So whoever they could be with, and they could have had relationships like this, like similar to what their mom did, having feminine energies that's not sure if the bill's going to be paid, always trying to find a way to make sure to hustle and get money, to make sure things are getting paid, robbing Peter and Paul type of energy to pay Sam. That kind of energy, just not being sure. So those are some energies from this deck that they dealt with in the childhood, and it's a do-rag. Somebody was very concerned about their looks and how they care for themselves, they grooming and all of that, instead of a family situation. So somebody was all concerned about how they felt and how they looked and what they had going on. They was grooming themselves, always shaving and doing their hair up and putting that do-rag on. All right. So Holy Spirit, please give us the childhood wounds of the divine masculine using this deck here. The childhood wounds is just trying to restore faith and be hopeful. They always tried to be hopeful in these situations. They have somehow tried to have hope that they will overcome this. And it's almost like when they get 18 type of energy, I'm going to take care of myself, I'm a little better than that, is what I feel on this card. That they promised themselves that they wouldn't live like this as an adult. Okay? So what was the childhood wounds, Holy Spirit? This is like a lack mentality, just struggling and everything. Depression and negative energy around them as a childhood. Wound, dysfunction family, dysfunctional families, this toxic and codependent behavior. This is their childhood wounds. This is why they have them. Because this is the life that they lived and everything like that. Look at that. Just heartbroken and lonely. This could be their mom's energy. This could be any energy that was around them. They seen sadness, heartbreak, and loneliness. They seen toxic things that happened in their life, codependent behavior. This could have been addictions, habits and everything. They seen all of this in their childhood. And this is learning lessons. And this was a cycle. This was completing this cycle and ending this. And this is what divine is advising them of doing now, that you don't have to stay stuck in this. You have to grow from this. Okay? You have to grow from this. Their childhood. And they have to set boundaries now. Okay? And this is, stuck in ego and low self-esteem. This is what he's seen and what he grew up with. And this is what they learned. Learned behavior. Always being defensive and destructive. It could have been fighting, domestic violence. The childhood wounds, what are they, Holy Spirit, within his family situation? All right, I struggle to say no. All right, somebody could have been back and forth, in and out, break up, make up type of energy is what they see. Okay, they struggle to say no. All right, they struggle to say no in this situation. All right, it could have been some dark energy here where somebody struggled to say no, and now they don't trust anybody. Something could have happened in the dark here. They felt alone in a situation. They don't trust anybody, including themselves. This stuff that happened to them now, okay? And this is avoiding conflicts at all costs, hiding. This is keeping secrets, not telling people things, not letting people know what's going on within a family situation of dysfunction. Okay? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Hiding, faking it, masking shit, lying, not telling people, not getting help in domestic violence situations, abuse situations, possibly molest situations, feeling alone, abandonment. And this is currently what they're subjecting themselves to today. This type of energy, wearing a mask and hiding what's really going on in their lives. Still suffering from childhood abandonment and wounds. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Hiding and running away. Being immature about what they need to face in their life. Okay? What they need to face here. And being unsure, confused. Keep changing up, changing directions. Going back and forth in situations that they know is not working for them. But yet this is what they knew and what they grew up on. Okay? Being arrogant and being in denial. Just not wanting to change things. This is that old, outdated type of thinking, mentalities, that's keeping them stuck. What they saw, what they grew up on is what they still projecting in their life today. And that's why they're struggling in their life and decisions and choices. And it's obsessive behavior here, stalking, Just obsessive energy, people getting all tied up in situations, you know, this kind of stuff, you know. And it's, you know, it could have been jail time here. They could have been isolated, time out here. There could have been a separation within a family situation here. And there's a cleansing and a rebirth. Divine saying this is wounds that needs to be healed. These are wounds that need to be faced. And these are the same type of relationships that they tie themselves to today because they have not healed from the past. These wounds they're struggling with, they haven't healed. Divine say they're unable to set boundaries here. And that's why they feel vulnerable towards other people. Okay? That's why they feel vulnerable. So they have an ego for the outside world, but inside they could be crying and feeling vulnerable. All right? This is the ego. All right? So that's how they feel. They childhood wounds, Holy Spirit, for the divine masculine. They don't take off the mask. They don't want to reveal themselves. They don't want to reveal their childhood wounds. Okay? But they stuck in nostalgia energy about things now that probably happened in their past. Things that they seen. Things that they did. But yet they know that they have to reveal themselves in order to be with you, and that you're all they think about. They know that you guys know that they're suffering from inner childhood wounds as well. What are these childhood wounds with the divine masculine? You're hiding them, suppressing them, not letting anybody know what really happened to them, not revealing themselves, hiding everything that makes them who they are. No confidence, thinking everybody would judge them, walk away from them. All right, because they have addictions that they have carried from their childhood to their adulthood. Okay, and this is your divine masculine, who's struggling with these childhood wounds that's now in his adult life, and they're causing all of these addictions because he have not healed. Divine masculine, what are your wounds? Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Just confirmation. Channel energies. Guilty. Because he's not, facing that. It could have been a dysfunctional marriage that he's seen. Okay? He want to change all of that. He want a new start. He want a new beginning. He don't want to live like maybe his parents lived. He don't want the type of marriage that maybe he's seen. And that's the type of energy that he's been putting out there. But now this person have major trust issues. And as you see, this is a child's hand. So that lets you know that these trust issues started when this person was a child. And it started from a male figure here. This is a male's hand. So these trust issues started when there was a child, and they now is into an adulthood phase. They have grown, and now they got trust issues, but they got these issues from a male figure too. Okay? And if they had this lack mentality as a child, like nothing wasn't good enough, there was always that struggle mentality. They could have been getting things turned off, utilities. It could have been not enough food. They could have had a large family. Some of them did. And this is a lesson that they're learning because they took some of these same dysfunctions, insecurities into their adulthood. And now they're learning a lesson. And now some of them are seeing that they're living the same way they did as a child. They brought that into this life and this adult life. They live in the same life. And this is their karma. This is their karma for still the past life again. The not dealing with your childhood wounds. Being in that cocky, arrogant, denial state. All right. What are their childhood wounds? All right. Their childhood wounds. Instability. Just trying to be stable within that, situation. They had parents who was probably going through karma. Going through karma for their behaviors. Okay? And this is just having hardship, not having enough, struggling. It could have been job losses here, or just jobs that don't pay enough. Okay? They was just overloaded with responsibilities. The parents could have been, and it was like just a deceptive energy in this family dynamic. Some of these divine masculines were just in a deceptive energy. The whole family dynamic was just deceptive. It could have been lies, just a bunch of distrust, arguments and stuff. And this is what they grew up with. And now they want to surrender. They want to close this cycle. They want to see things better. They don't want to keep living in the past. This was hurtful to them, what they seen, and some of them could be realizing that they brought the same energy into their adult life. They realizing that maybe this is how they treated people that they were with. This is how they treated you. You know, all of this is a lesson for them, a wake-up call, and it's just bringing back so many memories, so many pains and hurts and wounds that they're being woke up to at this time, okay? In their childhood, they could have had a shady female in their life. And their childhood could consist of, you know, middle school, high school, college, and all that kind of stuff as well, okay? Or whatever they got going on now. Thank you, Holy Spirit. They had a lot of fears as a child. They had a lot of fears as a child. All right? They could have been abandoned. You know, they could have been in dark places alone. All right? They could have had been babysitting themselves, trying to feed themselves. They could have been in a room or somewhere where it was just toys. And they just had some toys and they had to watch themselves. All right? Their life as a child was complete chaos. And these are some truths dealing with their childhood, that it was complete chaos. All right? It was a lot of betrayal here. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It was a lot of betrayal. You know, maybe the mom caught the dad cheating on a regular basis, and there was a lot of infidelity, you know, in this family dynamic. All right? It was set up. Somebody was set up here. It was arguments going. Somebody could have set somebody up and busted somebody cheating here. Here's exes, toxic ex-girlfriends. These are all in family dynamics. This could have been brothers, uncles, you know, even their father. All right? It was just betrayal. It was a bunch of different women, hot mess bitches. They had a multitude of different energies roaming in and out their life and influences that they thought was influences, but they really wasn't, who kind of showed them, you know, this energy towards women, you know, how to be prideful towards women, how to treat women, how to stand their ground, sort of, you know, speak so they can get control over women. You know, be prideful. It's like don't weaken yourself type of energy here, when they knew women were strong. And this is the energy where they tried to break down strong women. Or this is what they seen in their family dynamic. But they're trying to change. They're trying to transition from out of that. They don't want to continue to live this life. They don't want all this competition, this arguing and this bitching anymore. But this is what they had in their life. You know, competition, different women. It could have been cheating everywhere. All right. And this is, again, a message. We all need to eat healthy. You know, eat healthy, get more water, care for yourself more. Fruits and vegetables are needed. That always comes up in here for some reason, because I guess that's what we need. But in the past life as a child, here it is, multiple bitches. Their male role or female role models showed them multiple people. Multiple people. All right? This is PTSD, just post-traumatic stress disorder of things that they saw in the past. It's just playing over in their head. They thought that this is how you treat women. Just in and out like a revolving door. All right? And just have sex with them. Strictly sexual relationships. You know, getting rid of women, having somebody new. They could have seen male influences with different women all the time. And so maybe they thought that that's the way to be. Okay? You know, pissed off, arguments, anger, you know, disputes within this family dynamic here. All right? And somebody had to free themselves. It could have been a divorce. It could have been a separation. Somebody could have walked away. All right? In this family situation. Disappeared. Gaslighted. Okay? Just was playing with fire. You know, just angry energy, just arguments. It could have been a fire to a home. Somebody kept doing their own thing here, and then it was no trust here. These parents, this couple, didn't even trust each other due to all the things that kept happening. All of the cheating and the lying, the competition. It could have been a lack of trust, of course. Okay? And this is what they knew and seen. They seen these disputes and arguments and everything like that. Okay? The next energy I got, this also happened in the past life. Their childhood was part of their past life as well. This all happened in the past life. The male father influence did the same type of shit in the past life. Okay? This is a soul divine connection. And this was in the past life as well. Okay? And somebody broke free from this. They broke free from this connection just like they did in this life. Okay? And they was just overwhelmed with this connection. They couldn't handle it. It was too much work, too many obligations, too many rules to do the right thing. You know? And they couldn't handle it. So they broke free. And they couldn't have a healthy relationship. All right? They wanted to, but they kept feeling like they were overworked, overwhelmed to have this, okay? And Divine said because they were stuck here in seduction energy, all right? It was a lot of options coming people's way, and they found a snake, all right? Somebody who was feeding to their lust and temptations, okay? And they was dealing with a runner energy. They had a runner energy, and that's the masculine energy that they grew up with this. This is what they had in the past life. This could have been their male influences in their childhood as well. They grew up with this type of energy of them running away and in this snake type of energy here. Thinking that, you know, and making people feel that they were going to have a happy relationship. Okay? But people end up cutting ties. They end up breaking up with people. But they made people feel like they was going to have something. Just like the masculine energy did today. Doing today, then they cut ties and they disappear and avoid them. So this is definitely some energy that he picked up, you know, from the readings that he picked up from his childhood. And there could have been black magic going on in the childhood as well. You know, spells, casting spells. People could have been doing that against their family. Okay, but there's definitely some spell work going on in their childhood. Okay. Please, Holy Spirit, give me some more childhood energies for the Divine Masculine. What happened in their childhood? Who are they today? What happened in their childhood? Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right, so somebody could have been like a boss daddy, a sugar daddy type of energy, just going out all the time, dressing up and everything, making themselves look like they had $1,000,000, but only had $100. Okay? Making, you know, women feel like, you know, they met somebody big, like a boss daddy. All right? When they know all along they had a queen rising at home. All right? They was out here playing the boss daddy, having sex with other people when they had a queen rising at home. Holy Spirit, what is the energies? And this stuff led to black magic in their childhood. The boss daddy could have been out dibbling and dabbling, and he met a bitch who was doing black magic. Okay? What Divine say? Same shit on a different day, a different lifetime, a different year. The same shit that happened in this adulthood with the masculine energy happened in their childhood. All this is wasted time. It was no changes. Everybody just stayed stuck. You know, things was limited. The options were small. People just stayed everywhere, you know, stuck. And then, guess what? Divine Feminine, you kept rising. You kept on going. You kept rising. All right? Even in your childhood, you know, you were growing up to be somebody. You set goals, you know, okay, within your life. And you tried to win here, okay? But also this masculine energy could have a mother who was a winner. She could have been a winner. Tried her best to do what she could. All right? So all moms wasn't a piece of shit in the masculine's childhood. Some of them were winners. And this is how your masculine energy see you. For the ones who had a winner as a mother, this is how they see you. Similar to their mother, who was a winner. Okay? And they see that they wasted time with other energies here. Holy Spirit. It could have been child services involved here. Neglect, abandonment, abuse, molestation. All right? It could have been child support issues, abandonment issues. No, dads walked away. Very confused in situations. Very confused. Third-party situations. The same type of energy here. You know, mom could have had a fear. Dad could have had a fear. Just confusion, okay? You know, everybody was up in everybody's business trying to see what was going on, but nobody was up in the kids' business. Making them feel abandoned, abused. It was a lot of shit talking. Nobody had facts. It was like nobody was believing nobody. Nobody had proof of nothing else. You know, when you came to talk to people, nobody was believing nobody here. It was a lack of trust. It was a lot of arguments, and they felt like people was making up shit, talking shit. So the same stuff that happened in this lifetime, in this adulthood, for these masculines happened as a child. All right? There was definitely tarot back in the day, as you guys seen. Okay? With my grandmother. So all of this same energy was happening here. And here's the law, legal issues, argument, court dates. The same type of energy that was happening in their life as a child. This is a lot of cards, but I'm divinely guided to take them. All right, so they could have been looking up past loves, going back and forth. People was looking them up. They could have kept revisiting broken relationships. They could have been kept making up back and forth. You know, you gone for a minute, but now I miss you, come back home. Type of energy here, looking up, you know, to see who they can connect again. You know, and everybody got fed up with this shit. This is a fed up energy. The mom could have got fed up. You know, looking up and seeing what people was doing. You know, the mom got fed up, possibly with all these multiple lovers. The female's energies is getting fed up because it's a dynamic here where people just kept having multiple lovers. They could have had multiple lovers calling the home. This was all past energy here. There could have been a lot of shit talking, a lot of sexual energy here. It could have been different women that was kind of sexual, that was making comments and talking shit and disrespecting the mom here because the masculine or the male energy in the home was chasing other women. Chasing other women. Yup. And there could have been a lot of threatening. It could have been violence, just domestic violence. It could have been fights. Somebody could have lived a life in the streets, made money in the streets, but also got threatened in the streets for lying and wearing a mask. All right, as a child, they was neglected. As a child, somebody ran the streets. Their parents could have neglected them, argued with them. The kids was actually scared of this parent. They could have been a narcissist as a parent and scared these kids' behavior. It's like these kids was in fear when the parent came home here. All right, they could have been without transportation. Just without transportation, just struggling a little bit here, finding out who they are. And this is what they realize. And a lot of them can make the commitment to change their life, but a lot of them still struggling with that mentality. All right? Just stealing all their creativities, not thinking that they can grow and do something better. Just stuck, you know, munching on their energy, any skills, just not taking that initiative to do something different, just staying in that low vibe energy. You know, just staying stuck and just duplicating the same trickle down effect that they grew up with. You know, not blocking anything off, okay, but also, you know, this is blocked energy. Maybe they have blocked energy in their life. Things was blocked for them. Maybe these parents couldn't grow because they was toxic and they had just things was blocked for them as a family situation, as a family unit. All right, and also there could have been some dads who walked away that got blocked. You know, got a divorce and got blocked and couldn't see the kids, and they was curious about their kids. These kids could have been curious about their dad, but this person is young. All right, so somebody could be curious about their young kids. So it could have been some separations there. These things happened to them, you know, in their childhood, and this is what affected them as an adult. It was a lot of force. You know, it was a lot of domestic violence. I feel like it was a lot of fighting, you know, all right? And they needed money. It was hustling activity. People needed money to balance out this home situation. Money was very important to them, okay? And this thing triggered, you know, people got pissed off, I guess, when they didn't have money, when they couldn't pay these bills, you know. They started ignoring things, a lot of arguments. You know, these family could have ignored each other when they was arguing. Could have stopped talking to each other, put distance in between each other. And all this stuff is how they live today. They, you know, not in fear of putting distance in between their family members today. There was a sexual addiction. All right. It could have been some sex, you know, going on here. And somebody could have found out about some sex and it was extra triggered. All right. It was triggered. And the other energy is somebody could have been paying for sex. paying for sex here in this family dynamic. Somebody could have been dealing with prostitutes. Okay? And somebody's just idolized. This is that extroverted person who always out there doing them, who got a fan base, a lot of people who love them, and they was just hanging out. Okay, so these are things that the divine masculine seen as a child that he developed today, and now this is why he possibly tripped on you. This is why he tripped on you, because of these abandonment issues, these narcissist type of issues that he grew up with, and the fact that he liked to go back and forth with people. It's the energy like the dad might have cheated and he told the mom it was over, but yet he kept going back to that person again. He could have had a child or a separate family, a double life type of energy. All right, so this is why the masculine trips on you, because these are issues that he dealt with in his childhood. And this is what I have for you, Divine Film. I will be doing a video on this for you as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm just trying to give you guys some different content. Please enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.